Today on Joy, Jan Trimble from Habitat for Humanity gives a step up to families through sweat equity and guidance.
Hi everyone, welcome to Joy in Our Town. I'm your host Scott Reese, and this is a program where we have the opportunity to explore some amazing ministries and organizations around the Quad Cities, and more importantly, to get to know the people and the individuals that are behind those organizations. Today, I have the great joy to be sitting down with Jan Trimble. Jan, welcome.
Thank you.
Jan is with Habitat for Humanity. Is there another name for that? Is it Habitat for Humanity Quad Cities, or?
Yes, Habitat for Humanity Quad Cities.
That's it, yeah. Well, I was really enjoying our time together before the program, getting to know you a little bit better and finding out some of the amazing things. But why don't you give us kind of a beginning intro into what is Habitat for Humanity?
Habitat for Humanity is a Christian housing organization. We are a nonprofit, and we just believe that it's everybody's God-given right to own a decent and affordable home.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you are located around the world? Is it American?
Habitat International, we are in over 80 countries around the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
And is it in every state in the United States?
Not every state.
Okay.
We have 32 affiliates in Iowa. I am not familiar with the number in Illinois because we do service the Quad City area, so we serve Scott County and Rock Island County.
Okay, so I hope I don't put you on the spot. These may be stats that because they're national. Any idea from the beginning, when was it founded and by whom?
Millard Fuller founded Habitat International in 1976.
International, so that includes what's going on in the United States.
Yeah, 80 countries around the world.
That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Since that time, any idea how many houses have been built?
They have built, well, they've sheltered over 4 million people.
Wow.
So that's a huge statistic.
Now, what do you mean by that, sheltered?
Sheltered, built homes for.
Oh,
the families of more than 4 million people around the world.
4 million homes have been built.
We've built and housed over 400 people here in the Quad Cities alone. We are on our 100th build right now, which is awesome. Yeah, that's a huge milestone for us.
Wow, congratulations.
We'll be dedicating that this summer.
That's awesome. We'll find out more about that. So how long has Habitat for Humanity been in the Quad Cities, and how did you get involved?
We have been in the Quad Cities since 1993.
Okay.
It was formed by 5 gentlemen who went down to Florida after Hurricane Andrew, saw that affiliate down there working with those people to rebuild. They thought it was a wonderful idea, so they brought it back to the Quad Cities.
Yeah.
I personally got involved about 2.5 years ago.
Wow.
A friend of mine from my Rotary Club called, and it was a new position that was opening up called Family Services Director, Volunteer Coordinator. So I wear a couple of different hats.
Okay. And are you native to the Quad Cities? How long have you been here?
I've been in the Quad Cities for 10 years.
Okay.
I worked for the YMCA prior to that.
So you know your way around.
So I know my way around the Quad Cities.
That's great. Now, tell us your title again, and what exactly does that involve? What do you do?
Okay, it's Family Services Director / Volunteer Coordinator.
Okay.
So actually I have the best of both worlds in our organization. I am the Family Services Director, which works directly with all of our partner families, both those new ones coming into our organization and into the program, and those who have been in the program and are literally living in their homes.
Okay.
So my job is to help mentor them through difficult times. So if they have a life event happens, and we all know life happens, they may have lost a job or they may have had an illness, catastrophic.
These are people that are already in the homes or have
Correct.
made application to...
The ones that are in the homes are what I'm pertinent to right now.
Okay.
And so I help them to stay in their homes by helping them refinance, do a repayment plan with their mortgages so we don't foreclose.
Okay.
That's the last resort if we have to do that.
Okay. So help us understand how that process works, because I think I was of the understanding that build a home, you give it to somebody, but that's not exactly the way this works.
No.
How does it work?
We have a process that these folks go through, and it's kind of a lengthy process. We have an application workshop, which we have another one coming up May 6th at 1:30 at our office. This is where the folks come in and they learn all about our program. They can get an application at that time. We give them the qualifications and the documentation that they're going to need to turn in with their application. Once that's done, then the applications are vetted by do they make enough money? They have to make at least $26,000 a year in order to afford the home.
Okay.
It is a no-interest loan, so
Wow.
and we base all of their payments on their income. So there's no two payments really basically the same.
So their payments then aren't going to some bank. They're going right back into Habitat.
It's called Fund for Humanity.
Fund for
Those mortgage payments, when they pay them, go into the Fund for Humanity. We use those funds to help build the home for the next family.
That's
So they're paying it
amazing.
forward.
Yeah, they are. That's amazing. So is there a down payment process involved here type thing, or?
We do ask that they have a 1% down payment at the time of closing, but
Okay.
from the time they enter the program to the time they close on their home, it could be a year to 15 months
Okay.
that they're working their sweat equity towards that.
Okay.
But the 1% down payment helps pay their first year's homeowner's insurance.
Oh, okay.
So it goes
Okay.
into their escrow.
Absolutely. There's a lot more that we still want to unpack in our time together, but how can they contact you? Do you have a website, telephone number? How do people reach you?
Yes, we have habitatqc.org is our website.
Okay.
They can also call the administrative office at 563-359-9066.
Okay. And that information will also is on your screen. And so if you would like to reach out to Jan Trimble with Habitat for Humanity, you can either contact them through their website, you can give them a call, or you can email them. So how generous of you to
Absolutely.
just kind of throw it all out there. So tell us what you enjoy most about being involved with Habitat for Humanity. I'm sure you're seeing this change people's lives, but I'm pretty sure it's changed your life as well. What's this all about for you?
It truly has. I really have a heart for people. I love all sorts of people. And in this job, I get to do that.
That's
I get to work with people from all different walks of life, but I'm also helping those. Basically, it's a hand up, not a handout.
Okay.
So we're partnering together, we're working together for a dream of home ownership and to bring self-reliance and self-confidence to these families for a better life for themselves and their children. And that's just a passion of mine.
That's
to
great.
be able to help in that.
So there's a lot of different ways that people can get involved. I'm sure you have people that work for Habitat on a full-time basis to really, because this is a big business. 100 homes, that's amazing. And so you have that aspect of it. Then you also have the aspect of people that are coordinating, the actual volunteers who build, and then also the families. And we've talked about that, how they can get involved. But I'm really interested in this component of people that are giving of themselves to come and get involved. Is it easy to get involved? Is it a church project type of thing? Is it individual? How does that happen?
We basically have all types of help from all walks of life. We have the individual volunteers who want to work on the job sites. We have individual volunteers who work in our restore or our health and home.
Okay.
We have people who volunteer on our committees, on our boards, in the office. And then actually, you said we're a large organization. We only have 7 of us working in the office.
Okay.
So that are paid. So we have a very small office help, and so that's why we need the volunteers to kind of help us in the office. We only have 1 office manager, and so when she needs to have some time off,
volunteers.
it's nice to come in and help answer the phones, do some filing, maybe a little bit computer work, things like that.
Yeah. So let's talk about the process a little bit. You all literally go out and find property and you buy a piece of land with the intention of this is a great place to build. Are they all in one area? Are they in different cities? Is it all in Davenport? Help us understand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We actually build in several cities.
Okay.
We cross the river, the Great Divide, as some people call it. We build in Davenport, Moline, Rock Island, East Moline, and we just recently, this year, we're building homes in Milan. So we're very excited about that, to be in that community as well.
Yeah. And so you discover a piece of land, buy the land, and then say, this is a great place, and will you go ahead and start building a home and then put someone in that process, or do you have someone in mind once it starts to be built?
Actually, most of our lots, if not all of our lots, are donated by the cities. So it's a
Wow.
win-win situation for both. They're
Oh,
kind
wow.
of vacant lots that have been out there, and when the city donates those lots to us, it's taken out of their maintenance realm, so we're maintaining the lots, mowing them, shoveling the lawn, or shoveling the walks and such. And then also when we build the house, they're paying taxes.
Okay.
So money goes into the tax rolls, which
Okay,
is a
sure,
huge
sure.
economic impact for that
Sure,
city.
yeah.
So the more houses that we can build, the greater the impact is.
So let me just bring up one more thing then, and you having said that, you mentioned that the city actually donates property and land. What if an individual had some land, or if a church had a parcel? Well, is that also possible?
Absolutely,
You'll
yes.
take it however you can get it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we have purchased a few lots from when they go on tax sale.
Uh-huh.
We've done that.
Yeah, sure.
And as far as putting people in those homes on those lots, actually there's a process that the families go through.
Yeah.
When they enter our program, they start earning sweat equity. So
Okay.
there's 3 things that we base our applications on: a need, their willingness to partner, and their ability to pay a mortgage.
Okay.
The willingness to partner is probably the hugest piece
That's the
of it
sweat
all.
equity.
That's the sweat equity.
How does that work?
Each adult in the family that is 18 or over and not going to school, that's their job. If they are going
Sure,
to school, is
sure.
their job. They have to earn 250 sweat equity hours in order to actually
Wow.
purchase the home.
Wow.
And that partnership, how they earn that is we do classes for them, what we call partner family classes that I'm in charge of making sure that we have presenters and things for. And right now we have 9 classes that they attend. And they earn sweat equity while they're doing that. And these 9 classes will encompass budgeting, credit, predatory lending, home maintenance, home cleanliness, conflict resolution, all of these things to help them to become successful homeowners.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then they also help other partner families build their homes.
That's great.
And
oh, wow.
there they're learning the skills when it comes time to build their home. So they're less likely to have to hire something done that might be simply done
Sure.
because they've learned how to do it in building their own home.
That's great.
And then they have ownership in that home as well.
Jan, thanks for sharing with us. You are watching Joy in Our Town, and I'm your host, Scott Reese, here today with Jan Trimble from Habitat for Humanity QC. And we've already discovered a lot of things that maybe we didn't know about Habitat, but there's a lot more to discover, and we're going to do exactly that right after these messages.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Welcome back to Joy in Our Town. I'm your host, Scott Reese, and what an amazing time we're having today as we sit down with Jan Trimble from Habitat for Humanity, and this has been a very informative time thus far. And just as even during our break, as you were sharing some things with me that I just have not been aware of, thank you for taking the time and coming to be with us today.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's a
It's
delight
my
to have
pleasure.
you.
Thank you.
So now, as we talk about volunteering, you indicated there's a lot of ways in which people can volunteer. I may not have construction, skills or that kind of thing, but maybe I could volunteer in other ways. What are some of those?
We have a lot of ways, actually. We are a volunteer-driven organization. They are the true backbone of what we do. Without them, we would not be able to accomplish what we have or what
Okay.
we plan to do in the future.
And I think you might have mentioned earlier how many volunteers you actually have. How would you?
Last year, it was around 4,000.
Oh wow! I don't think you did mention that. 4,000 people
4,000
got involved with
volunteers.
Habitat.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they volunteer on our construction sites, obviously.
Okay, so there's one.
Yep. All of our supervisors are volunteers, and we're in desperate need of new supervisors
What's
if we
a
want to.
supervisor?
A supervisor takes over the build of one house.
Okay.
And so they kind of coordinate everything with our construction director, Bob Senjakowski.
Okay.
And Ben Cantner, our project manager.
So at any one given point, how many houses are in construct?
We've had as many as 5 going at once.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
that's 5 different supervisors working with a couple of building directors.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And with those 5 builds, we offer lunch every single Saturday that we're open, and sometimes even during the week. So I'm in charge of getting the lunch providers.
Okay.
And God has blessed
We
us
talking
with many.
Big Macs, or we're talking about real lunches?
No, I'm talking about real lunches. Real lunches. We
Yeah.
have been blessed with some of the best volunteer food providers.
Okay, so then there's another area that people can volunteer. So
Absolutely.
you may not be able to build, but you can cook.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we have church organizations. We do have some restaurants that have helped us out tremendously. We have individuals. We have a mom that called, and she has a young son who can't really be on the job site. They have to be at least 16.
Yeah.
So they help their mom prepare lunch. They are able to go on the active job site at that time to see what it's all about, serve the lunch to the volunteers, get to meet the partner families, and it's a way of kind of getting their foot in the door.
Wow, that's amazing. So we have now construction volunteers. We have people cooking. You have people that are working in the office, so administrative volunteers. Now, what I didn't know is that you have, obviously I've heard of Restore, but you also have, is it Heart to Home, would you call it?
Heart to Home.
The medical aspect of it?
Oh, Health and Home. Yes.
Health and Home.
Health and Home,
Okay, I
yes.
threw you for a loop there.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Okay, so Restore. What is that?
The Restore is a retail establishment where we bring in all kinds of donations from all sorts of people. Basically, it's home building type stuff that you can have. If you have a remodel in your basement,
Okay.
and you need windows or doors or cabinets or sinks or tubs or countertops, lumber, that kind of stuff. We also have furniture.
Okay.
That a lot of people didn't realize.
So it's not just for, it's also for some decorating.
Right.
Okay, but it's all involved in the home area.
It's all involved in the home area. We also have our
makes sense.
director at the Restore is extremely talented, and she makes earrings out of some of the materials that we get in. In fact, I'm wearing a pair today.
Wow.
Yeah. So she makes
that
those.
made out of?
It's made out of just little metal pieces, and then she kind of adds some decorative things as well. But there's
Wow.
all different kinds. She makes pendants and earrings.
That's clever.
And the sale of that all goes back into the Fund for Humanity.
Okay.
Along
So
with
now
their sales.
people can volunteer there as well?
Absolutely. We need cashiers. We need people to work with customers. We need people to help stock shelves. We have guys in the back that help look over different things if you like to tinker. We have folks that help repair things that come in the door. We have distribution. We have donation pickup and delivery. All kinds of things over there that can be done.
So if someone wants to help at a different level, like let's say, for example, they say, hey, I don't know a lot about construction, but I can haul stuff or I can drive a nail.
Absolutely.
Now, do they commit from the beginning to the end? Is there can they come as, how many hours would a volunteer typically put in?
As many or as few as they want.
Okay.
We do have some regular volunteers that in the Restore, they come back week after week, so they
Okay.
have a normal schedule. We also have that on the job site. They come back Saturday after Saturday and they help.
Are the builds, you mentioned that that's the second time you've said the Saturday. Are the builds only on Saturdays?
Most of the time they're on Saturdays. The only
Okay.
time we close on a Saturday is if it's a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Christmas, Easter, New Year's, things
So
like
how
that.
long does it take then to build, just building 1 day a week?
8 to 9 months to build a
a
house.
house.
We have opened up a couple of days during the week because we're trying to ramp up our builds.
Yeah.
So we do have to get them done a little bit quicker in order to be able to do that. So we have a group that we call the Merry Band. They started out many years ago. It was retired guys that instead of working every Saturday, they kind of wanted to work during the week.
Yeah.
So they started building, maybe 1 day or 2 days a week in the mornings. Now it's kind of developed into 1 or 2 days during the week for full days. But
Wow.
these people who are retired, now some people are just people who may not work during the day.
Sure.
Or they have a weekend job and they
Yeah.
want to work during the week.
Okay.
And so they're able to sign up on our volunteer matrix calendar to do that at their leisure. But that really helps us to continue with those builds. Those people really truly helped us last year in one of the builds that we had to have done by the end of December. We broke ground in May, things were going great, then the weather hits, something
Sure.
that you can't control.
especially around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Midwest.
Yeah.
I love the Midwest, though.
Yeah.
But so we had these gentlemen come in, and as of the 1st of November of that year, until we dedicated that house on December 19th, in order to gain the $60,000 grant that we needed for that house,
Okay.
they built every single day from 8 to 5.
Okay.
And we had all kinds of volunteers that came in and helped them. And we were able to then donate or dedicate that house on the
Wow.
19th of December.
That's great.
Yeah.
So there's so many ways in which
Blessings.
people and avenues and streams of involvement that people can connect with. Tell us about Health and Home.
Health and Home was opened in 2012, and that's our medical store.
Wow.
So we have
So you
donations.
have 2 retail outlets.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The medical store, we have wheelchairs and walkers and beds and crutches and bandages. Some of it is donated from individuals. Some of it is donated from businesses. So some of it is brand new.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's we have some nurses that are on staff. We have some technicians in the back that truly look over that stuff to make sure that it's able to go out,
Sure.
being medical supplies.
Sure. So, and both in Restore as well as Health and Home, those are all on a discounted basis. So.
Yeah, it's kind of like a consignment shop.
Okay.
So you need to come often because
Yeah.
if something comes in
Constant
on
turnover.
Wednesday, we're only open Wednesday through Saturday
On both of those stores?
on both of those stores.
Wednesday
yeah.
through Saturday.
Mondays and Tuesdays we do donation pickup and
And
delivery.
you're open from what hours?
We're open from 10 until 7 on Wednesday,
Okay.
10 until 5 on Thursday and Friday, and 10 until 5 on Saturday.
Okay, great. And those are located right there where your office is, and
Yes.
so your
yeah.
whole
one big
complex is right there.
Yeah.
in-
We even
in
have a
Davenport.
warehouse now that we're able to store a lot of our stuff that we get for the homes.
Yeah, that's great. So Jan, tell me about, I could just only imagine as you're talking and I'm thinking through, of course, what it is to be a homeowner and, getting into your first home. We all remember that. And just thinking through, people that have, been through some difficult times in life, and then all of a sudden they have this opportunity to, secure their own home at a low down payment, a no interest loan,
Yep.
all of the training. Talk to me about some of those families and, maybe some of the personal testimonies and things that you've seen, and even how you see God work through this, and how you've seen lives changed up front and personal.
God is at the center of all this. Even my hired position, it's been all God-centered. The people, I am so blessed to work with so many wonderful partner families, and they're from all races and walks of life. We help them in a way that they are building a brighter future for themselves and their children. They're gaining self-reliance. They're gaining self-confidence. They're
Sure.
empowering themselves to create that future for their families and their children. We give them stability. The children have stability when they're in a home
Oh,
for
my
a long
goodness.
period of time. Their educational stability. They're not going from house to house and school district to school district.
Yeah.
So they're getting that stability they need to truly get what they need in life to get a leg up. So the families are so appreciative. They are so hardworking. They truly are thankful for what they are given. Like I said, it's a hand up, not a handout.
Sure.
So they work very, very hard. Some of these families have full-time jobs, sometimes 2. Some of them are going back to school to retool themselves. Plus, they're earning 250 sweat equity hours all the time, during this process,
Yeah.
Which takes about 18 months from the time they enter the program until the time they actually get into their home. They have a mentor that helps them through, which is also a volunteer.
How long is the mentor process?
Actually, from the time they enter the program, we have a welcome orientation where they meet their mentor until the time they are in their home. And then usually these relationships are so cemented that they are together long after that.
Wow.
But their actual job with that family ends probably about a month or 2 after they get into their home.
Okay.
But they're always there as a friend, so.
I know that as a pastor in the local area, we encounter situations where people are, homeless or transient. And I think what's always, and you hit on this, what's always the hardest for me is when we are dealing with situations that involve the children.
Yes.
And it creates such an instability in them. And I mean, we've had situations where we couldn't secure housing, And so we had to put a family, they get all their stuff and store it somewhere, and then we put them in a hotel, for 2 to 3 weeks while we're trying to work something out. And my heart always breaks for those children. So I think to hear what you're doing and the impact that it's having, this isn't just about home ownership, is it?
No. It's a life-changing event for these families. They're finding their children 25% higher graduation rate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 60% less likely to be on welfare as an adult. I mean, we're really trying to stamp out poverty housing, which eventually stamps out that generational poverty cycle that some
It's
folks
almost a
find
curse,
themselves
isn't
in.
it?
Yeah.
That people just kind of live under
It
that, and
is.
you're breaking that off of people.
And they need that support. They need people who believe in them, who have faith in that they are God's children and they deserve what everyone else deserves.
That's great.
And I get to be a part of that.
That's
and
great.
That's what just
Let's talk
truly
very quickly.
swells my heart.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I really am. And we only have a few minutes left on our program. So I do want to talk about the issue of funding. I mean, are you federally funded? Do you get grants? Do churches help you? Can individuals help? And I know you have the income streams of Restore and Health and Home. How are you funded?
The majority of our funding does come in through individual donations, business donations, grants, fundraising. We do have a couple of fundraising events that we do that helps bring that in as well.
Okay.
But especially donations. We are not federally funded. We do have Habitat International, but we do not receive funds from them as well.
Okay.
We pay them dues, and then they give us resources for that.
Okay. So the homes that have been built in our area come from money in our area.
Absolutely. We have some great supporters who have. It takes us about $100,000 to $120,000 to build the home.
One home.
One home, and we're only charging them $80,000 to $85,000.
Okay.
To purchase the home.
Right.
So that difference is we need to make that up.
You have to make up that difference. Yeah. Okay. So I know you've already told us your website. It's habitatforhumanityqc.org.
Yep.
And is there a place on that website for people to be able to donate to you?
Absolutely. There's a donate button that they can push.
Okay, so just go right there. Good.
Absolutely. Or they can just mail it into the office and we'll take care of it.
What do you love most about what you do?
Working with these families and seeing the smiles on these children's faces as they say, oh, I get my own room, or I have a yard to play in, or I have my school friends. It's just amazing.
I bet it's a thrill for you to hand those keys over and just watch the thrill and the excitement of that family just coming into their own place.
We have dedication and groundbreaking ceremonies that if you have not gone to one, I urge you to go to one.
I would love that.
We have 2 groundbreakings coming up this Saturday, the 18th, one at 10 and one at 11, one in East Moline and one in Milan.
Wow.
We have a dedication of a home coming up on West 9th Street in Davenport on the 25th.
That's awesome.
So you can actually see the fruits of the labors.
Yeah. Jen, thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you
for
having me.
It has been a delight getting to know you personally and to find out more about what you're doing in Habitat for Humanity. And we want to thank you. Thank you for joining us right here on Join Our Town. I'm your host, Scott Reese, and it has been a delight today to host Jan Trimble with Habitat for Humanity. Again, if you would like to be involved with them, you can go to their website, habitatforhumanityqc.org. And we look forward to seeing you next time right here on Join Our Town.
This program has been sponsored by the Trinity Broadcasting Network and made possible by your telephone dollars. Your continual support can keep Join Our Town brought to your home every day. So write Join Our Town, P.O. Box A, Santa Ana, California, 92711.